I am Mohokaroda, Canadore College, Computer Systems Networking Technician, practical experience right here. So, so the question in the mind is, what is a computer? Well, a computer is a machine that utilizes electronics to input, load or store, process, and output data, right? So this is what my computer looks like. It is a very advanced computer. It is very, very awesome. I built it around 4 years ago, and even in today's generation, this computer still stands to be very advanced computer. It's because I have used the latest or the best quality computer parts in it that perform extremely well, right? So that being said, let's talk about my own computer. So first of all, this right here is the cabinet box, which holds the internal working components of the computer. It's by Cooler Master, and it has the ability to literally keep working forever. That's how awesome this cabinet is. So it just keeps on performing very well. You just assemble it once, and then it will serve you with performance, high quality performance for gaming, for video editing, for animation, for anything, for life. So this cabinet is by Cooler Master. Cabinet is the computer component that actually encloses the internal parts of the brain of the computer, that is the central processing unit. So this cabinet has the internal parts of the computer, which has a lot of electronic chips in it, a lot of electronic circuits in it. The brain of the computer is in here. So what does it have inside? It has motherboard, it has CPU, central processing unit. In my case, that particular CPU is AMD Ryzen 7 1700. As you can see, very high quality 8 core CPU chip. Then it has random access memory in it, a lot of lanes in it for computer connections. It has read-only memory in it. It has storage devices in it. I use WD 4 terabyte black hard disk. Again, very high quality. I use solid state drive by Samsung in it. Again, very high quality, very fast. Even my hard drive is very fast. My solid state drive is 500 GB. My hard drive is 4 terabytes. In my solid state drive, I keep all the installed program. In the software operating system, it is the C drive. In D drive, that is the WD hard disk, I keep all the other large files like videos, like recorded videos and everything. So this, because I used high quality components in my computer, I simply assembled my computer once, and literally, even if you don't take care of the computer, or although it is always recommended to keep your computer clean, take care of your computer so that your computer parts keep functioning and have long life. Even if you don't do that, these parts are so high quality that they will function excellently well. Especially, it is a very airy open cabinet which can have a lot of high quality computer parts in it. It's by Cooler Master. So anyhow, these are the components that are internally present in my computer. So there is the motherboard, there is the random access memory, there is CPU, there is hard drive, there is solid state drive, there is the graphics processing unit. How can I forget that? I use the manufacturer for my GPU is Zotac, and I use NVIDIA GTX 1070. Again, very high quality GPU which can have great graphics processing ability, a lot of capabilities to actually process computer images and videos, render them in high quality, great performance while gaming, great performance while animation, great performance while 3D images creation, great performance while doing any graphics intensive tasks. So this is a personal computer, but its performance is like a workstation. That's how high quality my computer is. So these were the internal main components of my computer. Then I use edifier speakers. Speaker is an output device. So this is the edifier speaker. It is basically the woofer of the output device right over here. And these are the speakers, one on the left, other one on the right. So this is my output speaker device. Again, very high quality sound comes from these speakers. They have very high volume and the sound is crystal clear. The sound coming from these speakers is very high quality. It is crystal clear. It does not make any sort of noise. That's why these speakers are really good by Edifier. So my speakers were these. These are the connection cables for my speaker. So this green cable that you can see is the aux cable. The red and white are for left and right speakers. So over here is my modem of the computer, and this is by my internet service provider. It's a fiber optical broadband connection, which means high speed internet is available to me at very genuine prices. So this is the modem and router, and it even produces Wi-Fi signals for the home. And this is my fiber optical connection for the modem. So I even use extension cable that was custom designed at a local, that was custom designed electrically. So because I need more plugs, so it is required. And this is the power connection for the modem. Here we go. So I use two monitor setups. This is a 1080p monitor, IPS anti-glare screen by LG. High quality, very genuine price. This is again IPS anti-glare by Samsung. It is 720p second monitor for my computer. And then we have these are the connection for the power cables for my computer, for monitor devices and the CPU, central processing unit. So yes, my cabinet also has power supply unit by Cooler Master. Again, I use high quality power supply unit to actually supply very, very crisp, high quality electrical power to my computer components. And this is my keyboard device. So it is, I think, made in India. Yes, it says Bharat here, which means it is very much related to India. And because it was made for India at least, and it was actually bought by me in India, it means that it was available to me at very genuine prices. This is a very high quality keyboard, mechanical keyboard, which means that it uses mechanical keystroke pressing, which means very soft. When you press the keys, the action is very smooth and very soft, and it does not actually add load to the hands when you do loads of typing. It does not actually disturb the human hands. Very smooth, crisp action, and the keyboard is very high quality and beautiful mechanical keyboard. Very awesome keystrokes. And it's a very smooth action. It produces a beautiful typewriter sound when you type, which is again very satisfying to the brain. This is my beautiful Logitech mouse. Look at that. It has different colors that it can produce. It is an input device. Keyboard is an input device. Monitors are output devices. Speaker is output device. So this mouse input device actually is again a very beautiful mouse designed for really high amount of usage. Again, the keystrokes are very soft and very sensitive, which means it is very smooth and beautiful experience to use this gaming mouse. When they call gaming, it means it is a high functioning mouse. It even has 2 extra buttons right over here other than the regular left, right and scroll button, and this button can also be reprogrammed. It is currently programmed to control the speed of the mouse, so you can reprogram all of the buttons of this mouse if you want to customize. It is connected by USB. So these are my headphones for the computer, if you look over here. So I'm just showing you how I basically live with my computer, how I am right now. So these are beautiful headphones. These were gifted to me by my sister, and these are by Bose, which means high quality headphones. I think it's the model QC25. What I want to say is these headphones produce high quality sound. They fit to the ears beautifully well, very comfortable experience. They have noise cancellation feature in them and utilizes AAA batteries to be inserted into the headphone device in order to produce noise cancellation effect. Noise cancellation is a beautiful effect where all the other noises from outside are cancelled and you can simply listen to the sound produced by your beautiful headphones. These are output devices, of course, and you can insert the battery required for noise cancellation right here. So this is my high-end computer. Like I mentioned, it is like a workstation. That's how good it is. And I have actually designed it in such a manner that it is like a workstation, but I have not focused much on the fashion component of the computer where the looks of the computer matter. No, the functionality of this computer is super awesome. That's how good it is. And this is my webcam device. It's a normal web camera for the computer that connects via USB by Logitech. And yeah, it's a normal web camera. It's not too fancy. It is for any video purposes if I need for the computer. So this was the introduction to my computer and what is a computer practically. So I assembled my entire computer myself. This is my microphone, the Blue Yeti microphone, very high quality microphone for recording anything. It serves any purpose extremely well. And this is my microphone stand, which is again very good for holding the microphone. This is my mouse pad for actually high quality purposes of moving the mouse around on my desktop computer. And even this table, computer table, this table right here is custom designed for fitting my computer needs. You can see that it is meant to be a computer cable with sides and very beautifully designed for computer purposes. So this is my computer, my desktop computer, and I designed it all myself. So this is how my computer looks from the inside. It is actually very, very beautiful, very awesome CPU that I designed myself. And this is the photo that I clicked. It's really beautiful, isn't it? So the motherboard I use is Gigabyte AB350 Gaming 3. And again, high quality motherboard. You can see that it has red and any color lights. You can program the motherboard to have lights of any color. It is basically a high quality motherboard which has beautiful looks for the CPU to actually make the motherboard very, very high quality, and it improves the look and feel and the beauty of the motherboard massively. This is the CPU fan right over here, and below it is obviously the central processing unit, AMD Ryzen 7 1700. This right here is the cabinet cooling fan to keep the system cool so that heat does not actually gather. As you can see, it's quite an airy cabinet by Cooler Master, which means that it does not allow the system to get overheated. There are some cooling holes present on the above side and on the back of the cabinet. Then this is the Zotac graphics processing unit, the NVIDIA GTX 1070 high quality graphics processing unit. So this system is a gaming system. When you say the word gaming, it basically means that the system is high-end system capable of high-end high quality gaming, and not just gaming, any high quality task that you want to do that requires intensive powerful CPU resources can be done by this particular system. For example, video editing, animation, 3D photo editing, etc. So this is the hard disk drive, the WD Black 4 terabyte. Again, high quality, big size, and great purposes are offered by this hard disk drive. This right here is the Samsung solid state drive. Again, very fast and serves the purpose of storing installed programs so that the random access memory can access it very, very quickly. So this over here, if I zoom in, these are the two RAM DIMMs. If you can see, again, high quality 16 gigabytes of random access memory is present in my system, which is again very good. This right here is the power supply unit by Cooler Master. Again, very high quality power supply unit. I have assembled this system all by myself, and I have done everything all by myself. I have chosen the parts myself, watched and cared about the compatibility of these parts, and then assembled these parts by myself so that they actually function together excellently well. So, this is my high quality computer system. From the inside, you can see these cables connect the power supply unit to the motherboard and to the graphics processing unit. Then the SSD is a SATA SSD. Then SATA cables and power supply cables also attach the hard disk drive. Of course, power supply is also required by SSD. There is a system fan over here for the cabinet to keep the system very airy so that no heat is actually produced in the system. Lots of open space over here, which keeps the system running smoothly, fast, without overheating or without causing any overheads, without causing any inefficiency. The motherboard is very high quality Gigabyte AB350 motherboard, and it has beautiful lighting effects which can be programmed to be of any color. So this is a beautiful system that I have built myself. The cabinet is by Cooler Master. So if I specify things again quickly, review and summarize them. The cabinet is by Cooler Master. WD Black 4TB hard drive, power supply unit, cables going to all the relevant components including the motherboard, then solid state drive, SATA, cabinet fan, CPU fan, below it is the CPU, and random access memory, 16 gigabytes high speed memory. In fact, I can even overclock this memory speed to actually increase the efficiency and speed of the system. The CPU is AMD Ryzen 7 1700. Motherboard is Gigabyte AB350 Gaming 3. The graphics processing unit is Zotac. GPU NVIDIA GTX 1070. So Samsung SSD. So power supply unit again by Cooler Master. High quality components have been used in each and every aspect of the system to make it very efficient, and it does not get, nothing happens to this system because it is very high quality. Once I assemble this system, it serves me literally forever. That's how high quality this efficient system is. So to review things again, Cooler Master cabinet, WD Black 4TB, power supply unit by Cooler Master, Samsung SSD SATA with power cables coming to it, Gigabyte AB350 Gaming 3 motherboard, Zotac GTX 1070 NVIDIA graphics processing unit, CPU cooling fan, AMD Ryzen 7 1700 CPU below it, and this is the cabinet cooling fan. As you can see, it is a very open and airy cabinet for high efficiency, no overheating, perfect CPU built right over here, and it has been assembled by me. You know, there is a very good feeling when you actually assemble your computer yourself and watch it functioning so well, because I have chosen these parts very carefully, taken care of the compatibility of these parts, taken care of the cost factor so that I do not spend a lot of money. and then actually assemble these parts together. And it is very awesome to actually watch this system functioning with high speed, efficiently well, no overheads whatsoever, and everything happens on this system in lightning fast speeds. What do we do whenever we start a computer or start learning about computers? What do we first want to see? We want to see the system configuration. So let's look at that. The simplest way, or the first way to look at the system configuration, is by going to Start, press Settings, go to System, go to About System. What is the About? Here we go. This shows basically the system configuration or specifications in the Microsoft Windows 10 operating system. So device name, this is my device name. It is a desktop and it has a very good serial number with it. Processor is AMD Ryzen 7 1700, 8-core processor. Oh my goodness, really a large number of cores. 3 gigahertz. Installed RAM is 16 gigabytes. This is my device ID, product ID. Okay, so there is a privacy factor here. I should not be displaying my device ID and product ID. I have to be careful about these things, isn't it? Okay, so it is a 64-bit operating system, x64 based processor. I have not added any touchscreen to this system. Windows 10 Pro, this is the version. I installed it on this. This is my operating system built. And this is the experience I have with Microsoft Windows. Perfect, isn't it? I can even rename this PC. That is awesome. So this is very awesome from Microsoft Windows. Next thing, what would I like to do is, what would I like to do next? Come on, think about something. What can I do in the basics of the computer? Yeah, let's look at the processes and threads of the computer. So I want to download Process Explorer software. Let's Google it. It's by Microsoft. Actually, it's by Mark Russinovich. So let's download Process Explorer. It's right over here. Save it on desktop. Here we go. And I definitely hope that it is. I definitely hope that it is portable. Are you gonna install it? Yeah, it is a portable software. So that is beautiful about Process Explorer. So what I want to see in the Process Explorer is, in fact, even I myself am opening in the first time. A program in execution is a process. So what is a program? Program is a set of instructions written by the computer. Let's do it again. Written on the computer, actually. A program is a set of instructions written by a user to actually give instructions to the computer hardware. And a program in execution is a process. The basic unit of execution in a process is a thread. So a program can have many processes associated with it. A process can further have many threads associated with it. I want to take a look at processes and programs in my system. So if I look at it very carefully, these are the programs that are currently running in my system. That is so very awesome. So if I look over here, I have the Chrome web browser opened. So this is the process that is running. So Chrome web browser is an application. It is a program which has software instructions with it. It is in execution, so it becomes a process, and this process further has threads. I want to take a look at them, so I will go to right click, properties. I'm doing this in the Process Explorer software, which is a very useful software for Windows to take a look at processes and threads. So let's go to properties and Chrome properties, and I go to threads tab, and okay, they want me to download Microsoft. Oh, here we go. Are you showing me the threads? Yes, you are. So they also want me to download Microsoft debugging tools for Windows for some additional important tasks, but they're still allowing me to take a look at the threads for Google Chrome, which is program, which is very useful. So you can take a look over here. These are the various threads associated with the Google Chrome web browser application that is currently running in my system. So these are the threads, and I think TID stands for the thread ID. I think it could be the identification for the threads. So basically, what are the numbers of these threads, right? So these are the threads and these are their identification numbers. So look at that. Many threads have been opened here, and they are basically displaying with my Chrome web browser, which is beautiful, right? And if I look over here, this is the CPU usage by these threads. Currently it is open in the background, so no CPU usage whatsoever. Even if it uses CPU, my CPU is actually very fast and efficient. Cycles delta of those threads, suspended count, and start address of each and every thread. And it even names those threads like Chrome DLIs. So this is all about processes and threads, at least the introduction of them, right? It shows the thread number 4796 and start state. Okay, so what is the state of this thread? So a process can have 5 states like new, ready, running, waiting, terminated state. So what is the current state? It is in waiting state. Why? Because it is open in the background. It is not open in the front. It is not running at the moment because currently I'm running the program Process Explorer. So it is in the waiting state. And this is the kernel, right? This is user. So a lot of information available about processes and threads right over here, practically in my system for the program Google Chrome. Perfect. So the next thing I would like to do is I would like to open command prompt. Right, so this is the command prompt. I opened it as admin, run as admin. So this is the command prompt for my computer. And I would like to just run a few initial commands. What would I want to run? Let's ping google.com. Look at that. It is pinging google.com. So what is a command prompt? Command prompt is a command line interface provided by Microsoft as a program in its Microsoft Windows operating system. So it is not graphical user interface. It is a text-based line by line command line user interface. Everything that you can do in graphical user interface can also be achieved in command prompt. You can manipulate files, you can delete them, create them, you can do so much. In fact, it provides the internal functionality. You look like a real computer expert when you use command prompt. Yeah, it makes you look very intelligent. So that's why I opened it. So this is my command prompt. So I think I should hide my IP address also. Yeah, I will make sure of privacy while editing this video. Yeah. So anyhow, I definitely hope I remember to do that. So basically I ran the ping command, which basically allows you to check the stability of your internet connection. So I pinged google.com and these are the results. My internet is running in a stable manner. So thank God, because yeah, we don't want any interruptions in the internet. So these are the ping statistics, various packets sent and received, and this was the ping command. Then let's look at the pathway these packets actually take. So the ping command tells you some information about your internet stability by showing you the various packets and checking the internet connection. Right? Let's look at the pathway that these packets actually use for traveling around. For that, I will use the tracert command. Here we go. So this is the pathway or the route these packets are actually taking. As you can see, my system is analyzing the internet to see the route or the pathway taken by these various internet packets. It's a very beautiful pathway that they are taking. Look at that. It's actually very awesome. Look at that. Is it gonna keep running? How many observations are you gonna make? They have already made 7 observations, and 8th one. Here we go. It's just keep tracking. It's basically tracking all the packets that are traveling when you use internet connection. Look at that. It is just doing it. Are you gonna stop it? Yeah. It checked it 10 times. So that is beautiful. So it basically traces the route to the website google.com. Very awesome. So this was running the trace command and the ping command. As you can see, my system's IP address is also displayed over here, which is the identification for the internet of my system. And the ping command is used to check the stability of the internet. Tracert command is actually used to check the pathway that the various packets of internet actually take, the route that they actually take. That's the tracert command. It traces them. Next, what else? Let's run the ipconfig command. So ipconfig command, wow, that was very quick. Ipconfig command basically displays the internet protocol configuration settings of my computer system, which is again very beautiful. It looks very awesome. And these are the various specifications of studies of network configuration. So this is the Windows Internet Protocol configuration. So this is Ethernet, and these are the various specifications of my system. What is the IP address of my system? What is the default gateway address? What is the subnet mask of my system connection? What are the various specifications of my internet connection, of the server connected to my computer's internet? So what are the various specifications? What are the naming conventions? So internet protocol IP address is basically the identification number given to my computer while connecting to the internet. Then there is the default gateway, subnet mask, IPv4 address, IPv6 address, then again Ethernet adapter, Ethernet settings, Ethernet 5 specifications. So last time what I did was I had installed Oracle VirtualBox and installed the Ubuntu virtual machine in it, which was so very cool. It's a Linux based operating system, free, open source, perfect, and licensed under GNU General Public License. That's what Linux is. And Ubuntu is a Linux distribution flavor. Okay, so now what I want to do is make my Ubuntu full screen. So I have been able to run the Ubuntu virtual machine, but I would love to make it full screen, right? Because full screen is obviously better. Let's see how to do that. So you have to do guest additions. That's what the feature is. So after the Ubuntu guest machine is installed, you will find that Ubuntu OS screen size is not extendable and you are not able to share folders between the host machine and Ubuntu. Right. So we can do a couple of things now. We can make this full screen or the screen size bigger and also share folders between Ubuntu virtual machine and my Windows 10 default operating system that has been installed, right? The host machine. So let's do it. Guest addition software provide additional capability to a guest virtual machine, right? So the host is Windows 10 and the guest is obviously the Ubuntu virtual machine based on Linux. So including mouse pointer integration, right? Better video support, share folder, share clipboard. Wow, very cool features in guest additions to actually improve your virtual machine experience when you use the Oracle VirtualBox. In this case, I'm using Ubuntu, right? Before we proceed to install guest additions, make sure the current user has sudo or root privileges. If the current user does not have sudo or root privilege, or it is not sure, run the following terminal command from an account, such as user account created when Ubuntu was first created. See the screenshot of who are you above, with root privileges to enable the root privileges for the current user. Right, so they want me to have root privileges in the Ubuntu virtual machine. So how would I do that? I think I already have root privileges. I should have, because there's only one user, that is me. And they say if you're still not sure, you should do it. So okay, let's start the virtual machine and do that. So they say see the screenshot who are you above. Yeah, I have seen this screenshot. I know my name and password, so I should have root privileges. So let's go to Linux terminal. This is my password. And here we go. Linux running in Oracle VirtualBox as a virtual machine, right? So let's check the root privileges. So what I should do is sudo add username. What's my username? I think it's Mohawk. Hope so. And sudo. Let's see. What's my password? The user Mohawk is already a member of sudo. Sudo stands for super user do. Let's see what sudo stands for. Sudo. System administrator, right? Sudo, yeah. Substitute super user do, right? Actually, it stands for super user do. Do it, super user, do it. I believe in you. So that's what sudo is. Okay, let's continue. To install guest editions, right? Should I power off my machine? I don't think so. They are running the machine. Okay, so where the username? Yeah. To install guest editions, let's close the terminal. Yeah. To install guest editions, click devices and insert guest editions CD image. Sure. Click run. Right. Contain software intended to be automatically started. Would you like to run it? Yes, I do trust you, man. You're gonna do a lot of things for me when I install guest editions. Okay. Authentication required. Authenticate. This is me. Right, so it is automatically installing guest editions into my Ubuntu virtual machine. That is so great. Guest edition. Press return to close this window. Sure. Guest editions is already here. Right. Install guest edition. Right. So it should be installed, right? Now prepare to restart the system. To enable the change, click shutdown on the menu and then restart button. Sure. So there is a power button, there is the power off, and there is restart. Here we go. My Ubuntu virtual machine is restarting with guest editions add-on on the Oracle VirtualBox. So perfect. So Linux was actually created with C language. How awesome is that? C language was the major language. So operating system is obviously a very, very complex, awesome system software. A lot of work goes into that particular software. It is a system program. So you obviously require multiple programming languages, but C played a major role in the making of Linux operating system. Linux is very awesome. It gave birth to Android also by Google. Wow, did you already make it full screen? My goodness. Oh my goodness, it is not just full screen, it adjusts to the window size. Do you see that? Wow, this is so exciting. So, it's all about resolutions, and how complicated operating system resolution settings can be. When you do resolution settings in your operating system, what can happen is that you can be at a certain resolution, and then you are unable to change the resolution, and sometimes the windows just locks here and there. Sometimes a particular window just disappears. There are a lot of resolution issues also in the operating system. That is why I'm so excited to see this. The fact that my Ubuntu operating system is automatically adjusting its resolution according to whatever I want. How cool is that? So if I make it small, it has adjusted its resolution to that. Screen size, width and height, auto adjust. Oh my goodness. This is the flexibility and awesomeness of the guest editions add-on for the Oracle VirtualBox when I have installed the Linux virtual machine in it. The host being Microsoft Windows 10 host OS. So look at that vertical screen. You want a vertical screen? You want a long screen? Just like, okay, now you want a what? You want a long screen? Here we go. It's a tablet, Linux tablet screen in the virtual machine right here. Now let's make it full screen. It's going to be very exciting. Look at that beautiful. What is that animal? It's a beautiful Linux symbol. It could be a panther, right? Let's make it full screen. Wow, look at that! Widescreen Linux right here. Ubuntu. It looks so brilliant. Additionally, the quality is very awesome. These icons are really high resolution. You can see the sharpness in the various icons, and you can see that it's not stretched to make it look very pixelated. It's not getting very blurrish. It's no pixelation, no blurrish, no glitches whatsoever. It's sharp, clear, crystal display of the Ubuntu operating system inside the virtual machine. Adjustable screen size to whatever you want. Take that. Wow, so cool. Okay, the next thing to do is... Wow, you want me to shut it down? Okay, they wanted me to restart and I already did that. After rebooting, see, my personal computer is actually very fast. It does these things so quickly. This is the benefit of having superb hardware installed on your computer with the best possible settings. This computer really works like anything. It's like a magical entity. That's how awesome this computer is. It does everything lightning fast speeds. No glitches, no nothing whatsoever. Each and everything of the computer is done at lightning fast speeds. It has never hung up on me. Never, ever. So cool. So what am I doing right now? Let me explain. So what am I doing right now is I am recording this video at 1080p 60 fps using OBS which is an open source awesome software for recording my screen. My computer has webcam, microphone, everything attached to it, all the peripheral devices, internet, LAN port. I am running Windows 10 on my computer as the host machine, and I have installed a virtual machine in it based on Linux, Ubuntu, through Oracle VirtualBox, and everything is working at lightning fast speeds. So very awesome, right? So yeah, perfect display with Ubuntu available right here. So very cool. Now the second thing is you might want to enable sharing of files and folders. Okay, let's do that. So before you can enable share folders, make sure that you have installed guest editions. Yeah, baby, I did that just now. Okay, when Ubuntu guest machine is on, click on devices, share folder settings. This is how fast my computer is. So click on devices, share folder settings. Here we go. Shared folders settings. Select machine folders and hit the add button. Okay, machine folders. Please select that. Okay, I've selected it, and click the add new shared folder button. Here we go. Browse to the folder you wish to access from guest machine. Right, so you have to adjust a common folder to share between these two. Right, which folder will it be? I would actually create a new folder in my host machine. So let's do that. It would be, would I do it in the SSD or the hard drive? That's the question I have to ask myself. Let's think about it. So what the virtual machine is going to do is it's going to want to access that folder, and everything in that folder will be shared between the two machines. Right. However, I don't think they're gonna do any processing in that folder. So only when I want to. So my guess is when I want to actually share something, I can simply put that in that folder and it will appear in both the machines. So it means that it's only going to access that folder when it wants to, not always. So I don't think I should place this in my SSD because there is only so much SSD space. It also depends on what you want to share. Do you want to share like 200 GB files, 100 GB files? What do you want to share? Generally, I don't think I'm gonna share a lot of files and folders. I am going to share only, let's say, 10 gigabytes, just for instance. So I'm going to make my shared folder to be in C drive SSD only, because, well, always this is the rule in computers. Never try to bottleneck yourself, never try to bottleneck your system if you don't have to, right? If you have the option to use the SSD, use it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the SSD for this purpose. Also, there's a recommendation that you should keep some of your SSD space free. And a lot of free space is available in my SSD already, C drive. So that's not an issue whatsoever. Also, a side tip, important tip. Never ever divide your drives into segments.
So a lot of people love to do it. So they have this huge 1 TB hard drive, and they would divide that into multiple drives in Windows, like 4 to 5 C, D, E, F, G, I don't know what. So never ever do those things. I personally have two separate hardware storage devices in my cabinet or in my computer system, which is SSD and hard disk drive, right? There are modern file systems capable of holding a lot of available storage space. So my SSD actually has C drive, and 4 terabytes for my hard disk only goes to D drive. That's it. Do not create additional partitions. Never ever do that. It's going to confuse you. It's going to make things very, very unorganized. It's going to cause a lot of confusion, right, to the user. That is me. So SSD, C drive, operating system in it, all the installed programs in it. D drive for huge files and folders. Which is the hard drive, and it has 4 terabytes of storage, right? Perfect system, no confusion, no complications. Everything runs perfectly well. So I'm going to create the shared folder in SSD only, and I'm going to name it something very relevant. In the C drive, I'm going to name it Ubuntu virtual machine shared folder, right? Ubuntu virtual machine shared, that's enough. Sharing or shared, you can, yeah, something like that is very much enough. 4 words, perfect. Not going too long with my folder name, perfect. So folder path is, so many a times what we do is we ignore these naming conventions, that you have to name your files and folders properly. Actually, many a times we ignore these things, but as you keep ignoring these things, these small confusions will stack up and eventually create a lot of unorganized space in your computer, and you will get totally lost. Although there are many quick troubleshooting and rescue methods for that scenario also, and they work very well. For example, there is the very cool software called Viztree, very useful to organize your files and folders, very useful, and it's a very good software. Anyhow, so I chose, okay, browse to the folder you want to access, right? Folder path is not selected, other. I am going to the C drive, right? And Ubuntu virtual machine shared, perfect, right? Folder name is this, and auto mount, of course, and make it permanent, right? Perfect. And click the OK button once. Okay, so do you want me to enter a mount path? So this is the different mount point, right? Where to automatically mount the folder in the guest. A drive letter for Windows and OS to guest, path for others. If left, the guest will pick something fitting. Okay, pick something fitting, right? Press OK. right? Press OK again. Perfect. And now it is sharing machine folders. Right. Let's see. Yeah, I think I did that part. Should I go to shared folders once again? Let's see. Let's go to terminal. No, 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 not terminal. I would actually go to. Yeah, I want to actually look at the shared folder settings. Yeah, machine folders, and it shows the path access is full, permission access is full, right? That is so very good. And now type terminal. What are we gonna do in the terminal? So is this the best way to access terminal, by using search results? Right. Okay, there's this way. Right click, open in terminal. Perfect. Right. Okay, I've opened terminal. Type the following line in terminal to add a user to VBox SF group. This step is necessary in order to use the VirtualBox shared folder feature. Right. I have to basically enable the VirtualBox shared folder feature. Right. So it is sudo add user brb vbox sf, and it requires a password. A lot of protection here. The user brb does not exist. So brb is basically my name. Let's see, what is brb? brb Barbie. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Okay, BRB is my name only, so I should type my name here. Right, let's do that. Sudo add user Mohawk into VBox SF. Type the following in terminal to add a user to VBox SF group. So basically VirtualBox shared folder group is there, and I want to add myself into that group so that I will be able to use the VirtualBox Oracle shared folder feature. Let's do that. Yay! Done! Thank you. So yeah, replace BRB with your account name in Ubuntu. Yeah, just did that. When you're done, restart the Ubuntu guest machine and go to. Okay, so when you're done, let's restart. The Ubuntu guest machine and go to media directory. Okay. So Nautilus is the file manager in Ubuntu by default, right? That's cool. So this is my password for Ubuntu. Perfect. Okay, now what I have to do is go to the media directory. So I have to go to Nautilus. Nautilus, where are you? You're very naughty. Here's files. Okay, this seems to be the Ubuntu file explorer, file manager. I have to go to the media directory. Computer, file system, media folder. I have to get used to this. I'm used to using Windows all the time. For in my entire life, I've only used the Windows operating system for computers, desktop, and laptops. Okay, so I have to somehow go to that location. Let's see. Media folder. Here is a shared folder. Perfect. Here is the shared folder. Right. But how did I reach it so quickly? Even I don't know. So there must be a pathway, a well-defined pathway. Let's see. So they from Nautilus. Let's try to type Nautilus. Nautilus. Click computer. Computer. Where is computer? So this is home. This is desktop. This is documents. Where is computer? Should I search computer? Right. Wow. So where is computer? So I have the home. Okay, I can add properties. Media parent folder. So this is all about the file systems and directories. It's all about that, isn't it? So this is the home. So click computer, file system, media folder. Right. Computer, file system, media folder. Computer, file system, media folder. Let's go. Let's see if I can find the word computer. So if I search over here, pictures. Yeah, it does show me the picture folder. Wow, how did I come to computer? Yeah, I have reached computer. Yes, how did I do that? I don't know. So look at that. It says here computer. Yes, I can see all the files in Linux. Look at that screen go. So beautiful. Look at that. Here are the important folders, the bin folder. Something what you see in Android also, right? The bin folder, the root folder, the super user, the rooted Android users know about that. So how did I reach computer? I don't know, man. I seriously don't know. How did I reach computer? How did I reach computer? So if I go here, I go to recent desktop folder. Okay. Here we go. So in this file manager, Nautilus, what I can do is click on other locations, and that will take me to the computer itself. And in fact, it even shows the shared folder already, which is so cool. So let's go to the computer, and then I have to search for the media folder. Here we go. The media folder is here, and in that we have the shared folder. Want to try to share something? Yeah, let's do that. Let me try to share something important here. What would I share? What do I want to share? Anything interesting. Something interesting. What would I like to share? Let's share some music. Music. Here we go. Here are some music files. Let's share some music here. Let's copy it, and I'm gonna paste it in the shared folder. Right, here we go. Pasted music from my host machine. What happens in Ubuntu now? Here we go. The music is available right over here. I was just able to achieve file sharing from my host machine to the virtual machine, and it happened so quickly, so efficiently. Well, I love it. So let's make it full screen. And does it work? Does the music work? I don't know. I can even increase the volume. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. I can share music. How cool is that? Okay, let's try the other way sharing also, from virtual machine to host machine. Of course, it's gonna work. It's my machine, man. It always works. So let's copy this, right? And I'm gonna paste it into somewhere. Go to Nautilus. What a cool name for a file manager, Nautilus. Let's go to the shared folder, paste it right here. And now I'm going to the host machine, Windows. Yup, I can see lol.txt right here. Look at that. This is Windows, and here we go. So, to and from sharing. It's two-way sharing and it's working perfectly well. Look at this beautiful virtual machine, huge screen. I love it. I love it so much. What's next? Replace BRB with your account name. Any other instructions that you would like to give me? Wow. Instructions is an important word in computer technology, isn't it? Software instructions. Anyhow, and inside it, you will see a folder beginning with SF, shared folder. Now you can transfer files, Ubuntu guest machine, Windows. Yeah, perfect. Although shared folder system is a nice feature using VirtualBox shared directly for fast queue data annotation. Okay. They say that shared folder feature is good, but it might reduce performance. I don't think it's gonna do that because I'm using the best possible computer configuration available. I don't think it's gonna reduce performance. I hope it does not. Let's see. So let's delete these two files. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now from my Windows computer. Don't want to waste any space. Right. So today I was even practicing with Terminal and I created a lot of text files. So I don't even know where those text files are actually saved in Ubuntu. It's crazy, isn't it? I have to search for those and maybe let's see. My file, was it? No, it's going to be. Let's see if I can see anything with txt in it. There is the readme. Right. So I don't even know where I saved those text files. Let's see. txt. No. Whatever it is, I was able to achieve the tasks very well. First up, Ubuntu screen is full screen. So the host machine is Windows 10. I installed Oracle VirtualBox virtual machine software in it and installed Ubuntu virtual machine in it. Yay! It is actually very good. And here is Ubuntu for you. And I was able to make it full screen. It is not only full screen, it adjusts to the screen size, and the performance of it is very good even after I have enabled folder sharing, which is the second most important thing I did in today. That is, first thing was making the screen big in Ubuntu virtual machine. I did that. The host machine is Windows 10 and the software is Oracle VirtualBox. I did that. The second most important thing I did today was I enabled for file sharing between the host machine, host operating system, that is Windows 10, and the virtual machine, virtual operating system, that is Ubuntu Linux distribution. Perfect.